Hello, do you guys know what today is? Today is Papa's birthday. So I said, Papa, what book am I going to read for the grands today? I'll let you pick. He said, no. I said, no, I'll let you pick a book today. Here's 10, pick a book. He said, no. So, since I'm on a river, I decided to pick my own book, and I picked a book about rivers. This one is brand new for me. It's called Along the Riverbank. And don't you think this is just perfect, because we are actually along a riverbank. Now, my riverbank is in Arkansas, and I don't know if these are going to have the same kind of animals, but we're going to look at this book. And this is fun, because this book is like Shrek or like Onions, because it has layers. So, along the riverbank. The muskrat digs its burrow in the banks of ponds, streams, and lakes. It reaches its nest through a long tunnel entrance hidden deep underwater. This is a really cool book. Look at the muskrat. See them swimming? Now, on my river, we have otters and beavers. And sometimes we see those whack-a-mole creatures too. Brain's not letting the words out. It'll come to me about halfway through the book. Now, I have never seen a muskrat though. But look at this. Ready? Watch the page as it turns. We got layers and holes and fun stuff. So we still have this guy still with us. See him here? We turn the page and we still have him. So when the water snake is hungry, it hunts down a fish or a frog. Don't worry, it isn't poisonous. Well, the word is venomous, because it's poisonous if you eat it. It's venomous if it bites you and hurts you. And they're saying this guy is not. But in some rivers, you're going to find stuff that is venomous. So if you don't have your grown up, you stay away from all the snakes. With 4 webbed feet and a muscular tail for steering, the otter is at home in the water as it is on land. It can dive, swim, run, and climb with ease. Have you ever seen an otter in the water? They are great, great, great swimmers. I've seen one roll over and eat a mussel on his back. A mussel's like this. That's a little clams, a bivalve, one of those guys. So yes, they are very strong. The crayfish lives only where the water is crystal clear. It has claws and a hard shell, and it walks backwards. Where I live, we call them crawdads. And right now is crawdad season, and we like to eat them. I recently came across a little fella named Blueford Bluedrow, and he was a blue crawfish. But he decided he wanted to live somewhere else, and it didn't work out well for him. So anyway, I see the otter. There's our muskrat. I bet you that's going to be a beaver. Let's turn the page and see. Ready? Boop. Like many water birds, the coot builds its nest in the reeds at the water's edge. It so fiercely defends its young that it gets into fights with much larger birds. So that's a coot. No baseball hat or wrinkles. But that's all right. They're going to call him a coot. Here's another fishies. Here's our non-venomous water snake. Like the otter, the beaver is a very good swimmer and diver. It has a distinctive flat tail which it uses to whack the ground and warn other beavers of danger. Now, do you see this tree right? That tree right there. It's the only tree you can see. Oh, that tree. We had to put wire around it because the beavers were gnawing on it. So we put some cage wire around it to keep the beavers from gnawing on it. We had to leave it loose though, because we don't want the tree to grow into the wire. But because our bank is eroding right here and the water's carrying the dirt away, we don't want to lose any of our trees because they have important roots. But we have beavers also on our river. Beavers in the wild build their homes of branches, which can lead to flooding, but dams are important to beavers. They raise the water level so that the entrance to their burrow is deep enough to not ice over in winter. We're too far south. This guy's not going to ever ice over. Damn, that's a big toothy grin if I ever saw one. The colorful kingfisher bird uses its long, pointy beak to catch fish just below the water's surface as it swoops down from high perches. What is the difference between a frog and a toad? The tree frog is small and bright green. The toad is usually brown and has warts on its back. There's a green tree frog loose in my classroom right now at school. Yeah, he came in on a pot and was just living his best life. We were looking for Boudreaux, and lo and behold, we had a green tree frog. Now, this is a wood stork. Now, on my river, we have great blue herons, and sometimes you're going to see bald eagle and Canada geese and mallard ducks, wood ducks, but we don't have these exact same kinds of birds here, okay? So, the wood stork has a body of white feathers and long legs. It builds its nest from large sticks and trees near fresh water. It likes to nest in colonies near other storks. Look at these fun. There's little duckies and a little dragon. Nope, that's a dragonfly. That's a mosquito. See that proboscis? That guy's a mosquito. These are cattails. I've always heard you could pull up a cattail and eat the root of it like a potato. I actually haven't been that hungry, so I wouldn't know. This must be the last page because there's no, oh, there's more, but there's no holes in this page. It's a flat page. There's a lot going on at the water's edge. Look, there's a bear fishing. Bear, I've seen bear here. Yes, we have black bear where we're at. And I let them do their thing, and I mind my business, and we go our separate ways, and life is good. So let's see. A family of beavers is building a new dam while the otter rests on the shore. The cormorant is looking for something to eat. Some creatures like fish live only in the water. They can't breathe on dry land. One time down there, I saw a fish. No, it was a snake and an eel fighting. I didn't even know we had eel in this river, but we do because I saw it with my own 2 eyes. And him and the snake were wrestling, and we watched them till they got down to about here, and I lost sight of them. I was really secretly rooting for the eel. Well, not secretly, because I was hollering, go eel. Look at the bear feed itself from the river. See the bear? It lurks on the bank, fishing mainly for salmon, which travel from distant seas through rapids to their native rivers. As soon as the fish jumps out, the bear makes a grab for it. Dinner time, munch, munch, munch. Now, I don't have salmon in this river. It's not a super cold river, but I will say in Arkansas that this is the most diverse river in Arkansas as far as all the different fish species that live in it. We just don't have any salmon, which is a sad thing because I do love a good salmon. Most human divers need a snorkel, mask, and wetsuit. The grebe, however, doesn't need any of those things. Grebe is like a duck. It's a bird. Its lobed toes help it swim underwater to catch fish. In fact, it's more comfortable swimming than walking on land. Newts and salamanders look like lizards, but they're different. They're amphibians, which means they can live on both land and in water. They're like kinfolk to the frogs. When in the water, they can breathe through their skin. They also have the ability to regrow limbs. Now, they do, but let's be perfectly clear here. They don't regrow it all the way perfect. It's just not a flat nub anymore. They don't get all their toes and everything 100% back. And I have occasionally seen amphibian salamanders here. It's real rare around here, and you got to know what you're looking for, or you got to be at the right place at the right time. The cormorant is a great diver. It can swim for its catch all the way to the bottom of the riverbed. It enters the water quietly, leaping with its legs against its body and its wings flapping. It moves very quickly underwater to catch fish, mostly cod, eels, and herring in its curved beak. This river must be a cold water river. While in cold months, this is a cold river. It's just not cold all the time like some rivers are. So we've got looks like some information. So white or black. Swans have long necks and short beaks, and most are white as snow. Black swans come from Australia. Both white and black swan babies are gray after they hatch. They look like little fuzzy balls, although mom and dad have to feed them. Baby swans can swim on their own. When they're hungry, the swan's long neck allows it to reach deep underwater or to the shore to eat pieces of plants. How a frog comes to be. In the very beginning, the frog lays an egg, which produces a tadpole. Ooh, I could tell you for days, all the stories of tadpoles from my childhood growing up. At first, the tadpole has gills that allow it to breathe underwater, but these disappear over time. It gradually grows front and back legs. Eventually, it becomes a frog which can breathe air. That's the same way that newts and salamanders go too. They start as tadpoles. Long-lived turtle. I saw some water turtles down here this morning hanging out. Probably red-eared sliders. So technically, a tortoise is a turtle, but it is a type of turtle that isn't built for water. Its shell is heavier and its feet aren't webbed. The turtle you see in water is lightweight, has a flat shell, and has long webbed feet. I saw a soft shell in there one day. I don't even know if I can get it in the frame. That turtle was ginormous. It was a big old rascal. So, jewels in flight. There's nothing quicker in the insect kingdom than the dragonfly. Its most distant ancestor lived here before the dinosaurs. Thanks to its beautiful coloring, the dragonfly looks like a flying jewel. It loves light and heat. In rainy weather, it can't be persuaded to leave home. We have lots of dragonflies. Dragonflies and even amphibians are indicator species. If something goes wrong, those dogs, so tacky. Hey, excuse me. They're an indicator species, so if something's wrong with your ecosystem, one of the first things to disappear would be your amphibians or your dragonflies. So if you have dragonflies and frogs in your river ecosystem, good shape. Now, I will say my kids once found a 5-legged frog. That means there are problems. That wasn't here. That was somewhere else. And we sent that little guy off to Little Rock, and you know what they said? They said because the city comes out and sprays for mosquitoes, sometimes that spray gets into the water and affects the tadpoles. So this frog had 5 legs. Crazy. So this is it. We're almost done with our little storybook. Got one more page. Plants by the water. There are lots of plants that like to live around the water. Some species of water lilies have large white flowers that float while the roots grow below the water's surface. Reeds grow on the shores and banks of waterways and in swamps. Many aquatic birds like to nest in them, and flocks of starlings will nest in them at night. Look, dude, I know they've got their place in the river, but when I'm in the river, I don't want to touch any foliage. I don't need water weeds or stringy thingies. None of that stuff touching me. And if my beach ball rolls over into it, it's gone forever, because I'm not getting into that stuff. Because things that are venomous like to hide in the water weeds, and Mimzie's not playing that game. Food chain. Oh, I've been teaching about this in my classroom in the science room. The snail eats plants, the frog eats the snail, the stork eats the frog and fertilizes the ground for the plants to grow. It poops. Plants, snails, frogs, and storks, none of them can manage without the others. That's the way things are in the natural world. Nest of the pendulum tit. Here's him, pendulum tit. That's his name. This little bird with a cute name built its nest on a thin sprig of willow. The nest looks like a large egg woven from very fine fluff. This is because the pendulum tit makes it with fibers of wild nettles. Its soft, thin voice is well worth a listen to. Last night I kept hearing the hoot owls. Ooh, 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 ooh. I had to tell old Sherm dog in there, who weighs all of 9 pounds, to go to bed because I didn't want him to be a snacky snack for those hoot owls. I'm not playing with you. Common features. Though each fish is a little different, all have gills which enable them to breathe underwater. That's even sharks. Even sharks have gills. All fish are cold-blooded too. That means they can't keep themselves warm. Fish never stop swimming so they don't get cold. Ooh, see, and I'm going to need me a nap at some points. That's a very interesting, informative book. I may have to take this and share this with my science students. But anyway, we want Papa to have a happy birthday, even though he wouldn't pick out his own book. And just don't ever, ever, ever forget that Mimzie loves you.